Okay, this is now week 8, day number 1 and day number 2. I'm going to combine day number 1 and day number 2 because day number 2 is just a reflection on what you have learned about the database or in creating a database table. So which is composed or which is talk about the database data type. Okay, so for the day number or in our previous video, you have understand on how are you going to use or what is the purpose of the first option in creating the lookup field. Now for this video, we're going to create another lookup field, but we're going to use a multiple column list. So our objective will be discover and discuss the multiple column list lookup field. So we're going to use multiple column list on our lookup field. So in di ba dati on our previous videos, we've created lookup field which has one column also one column only. So this time we're going to create a multiple columns for the lookup value. Then we have the second objective. We're going to create a multiple column list lookup field to the database table. Okay, that is day number 1. Those two objective is intended for day number 1, and for day number 2, give examples of to each data type. So give example field names to each data type. Okay, so to better understand the multiple column list, what will be our expected output after this demonstration? Okay, after this demonstration, your database table should look like this one. So in our previous or past videos, discussion video, that is week number 7, day number 1 and day number 2, we have created a lookup field which contain only one column. This time, we're going to create a lookup field which has multiple columns. So this one is 3 columns. So this is more than 1 column or more than 2 columns. So multiple column list. So how are we going to do that? And what will be the purpose of that multiple column? Okay. Now, let us do our demonstration to answer those questions. So to do the demonstration, again, open your lookup field dash your last name comma your first name. So that is your previous database. So lookup field dash your last name comma your first name. So please wag nyong iwawala yung inyong lookup field. So that lookup field database. Kasi 3 beses nyong isa-send yan sa akin. Okay? 3 beses nyong isa-send yan sa akin. So that is week 7 day 1 and week 7 day 2, then week 8 day 1. Okay, day 1. So this will be, I guess this will be the last topic or demonstration for the lookup field. Okay? Now, let's see your module. So in our first step, we are going to create a new database table and we're going to name it as computer teacher table. Wait. That is your activity on the day 1, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that is your activity on the day 1, which means hindi na kayo gagawa ng another table na computer teacher. So ako na lang ang gagawa ng another table which is computer teacher. Kasi nga, hindi ko naman nagawa yung activity number 1. So, computer teacher, then we have here the teacher ID. So, for you, you're going to open it, but for me, I'm going to create it. So, create a computer teacher, then we have here the field name, teacher ID, first name and last name. First name and last name lang ba yun? I guess that is first name, last name. Ay, computer teacher lang ang nakalagay. So, computer teacher ID, first name and last name. So, please edit your computer teacher table. Sabi dito sa step 3, edit the field names in the table as shown to make sure that you made proper changes. So, yung dati, computer teacher lang nakalagay na field name, now, you're going to edit it into teacher ID, first name, and last name. And their data type is still short text. So, I'm going to create that one. If you're going to create a new table, create tab, then click table. Click create tab, then click table, then click design view to edit the field names of your table. So, the name of my table will be computer teacher. Then click OK. Then we have teacher ID. Then it should be short text. Then we have first name, short text, then last name. Okay. Then click datasheet view. But before we proceed to the datasheet view, Control S first, then click on the datasheet view. Okay. Click on the datasheet view, then add the following records. So, let's see nga. AG Aldrich Gutierrez. So, AG will be the teacher ID, then Aldrich Gutierrez. I think that is double T. Then we have the second record, AT Alfin Trillo. AT Alfin Trillo. Okay. So, let's say for example, na-type ko na lahat ng mga informations on our computer teacher table. Now, let's proceed on the second step. So, close and save the table. Then, open the classes table in the design view. Open the classes table, then we're going to create a lookup field for the computer teacher. And this time, we're going to use the first option. Okay, close it. Close, para sure. Then open only the classes table. Then click on the design view. Then, supposed to be, meron na dapat kayo ditong schedule and computer teacher. But for me, wala pa kasi akong computer teacher, so I need to type the computer teacher. Now, for the computer teacher field name on the classes table, we're going to create a lookup field. Then, yung value ng lookup field ay dapat manggagaling sa computer teacher table. So, click on the drop-down arrow of the data type or computer teacher field name's data type. Then, click lookup wizard. After clicking lookup wizard, we're going to choose the first option kasi manggagaling yung information sa kabilang table. Then, click next. After clicking next, saan manggagaling yung value ng lookup field? Saan nga ba natin makikita ang value or record ng computer teacher? Of course, sa computer teacher table. Then, select computer teacher table, then click next. After clicking next, then we are going to add all the available field names. So, we have 3 available field names. So, add all the available field names. Then, after that, click next. Then, accept the default setting, then click next. And this will be sample records kung ito nga ba yung record na isho-show ng ating lookup field. But, as you can see, dadalawa lang sila. Bakit dadalawa lang? Dapat supposed to be, dapat 3. Kasi we have checked the hide key column. So, if you uncheck the hide key column, magpapakita yung ating primary key which is the teacher ID. So, if you check the hide key column, then mawawala. Then, if you check the unhide key column, then magpapakita po. Pero reminder, on the key column, if you check the key column, kahit hindi primary key yung field name, basta nauna siya, nauna yung field name, hindi po magpapakita. Okay? Pwera na lang kung mag-isang column lang siya. Kung mag-isang column lang siya, then magpapakita. Pero if it has more than 1 or more than 2 columns, then, tapos naka-check yung hide key column, mag-hide po yung first column. Okay? So, for this demonstration, uncheck the hide key column para makita pa rin po yung teacher ID. Then next, click next. After clicking next, then those are the available field names for the lookup value. Then click next. Then accept the name of our lookup field. Then accept the settings. Then click finish. After clicking finish, it will ask you to save the table in order for you to create the relationship. So, do you want to save now? Of course, I'm going to save now, so click yes. Okay, after saving the table, then click on the datasheet view. Then we have here the computer teacher. If you click on the computer teacher, okay, it has a drop down arrow. Then, magpapakita po yung tatlong column. But if you click on the first column, then ang ilalagay niya lang po is the key column. So that is the co-teacher ID. Now, the purpose of this multiple column list, di ba supposed to be ID ang inilalagay natin na information sa ating lookup field. Pero alam ba natin kung kaninong ID yon? Example, itong teacher at computer teacher, kung isang column lang yan at ang nakalagay is ID lang, alam ba natin kung sino tong AG? Alam ba natin kung sino tong AT? Okay, so hindi natin alam. That's why we can add another column for the first name and for the last name. So, to be sure, kung siya talaga yung tinutukoy natin or siya talaga yung ilalagay natin na record into our database table. So, that is the purpose of the multiple column list. Okay? So, let's see kung meron pa ba. So, that is the multiple column list for the lookup field. So, na-uncheck natin. Hide. Okay, and accept the name of the lookup field. So, wala na. So, na-explain ko naman ako anong purpose ng multiple column list. Okay? Now, so kagaya dito, nakalagay or naka-hide yung key column. Naka-hide yung key column pero reminder kung ano man yung value at first column, yun po ang mailalagay sa ating record. So, dapat, kung gusto nyo na is yung first name ng teacher, computer teacher, or yung ID ng computer teacher ang mailalagay, dapat naka-unhide si key column. Okay? Now, on your activity number 2, open your lookup field. So, you're going to use the same lookup field and save and create a new database table. So, if you want to create a new table, create tab, then table. And save the new table as student information. So, gagawa na naman kayo ng panibagong table and the name of that will be contact information. Bakit student? Contact information. And into that contact information, enter the following field names. The contact ID, contact type, and contact number. Contact type, kung ano mga ba ito, mobile number or landline number. Parang ganon. Then, create a lookup field for the following based on the specification described in the table below. So, sundan po natin ito. The lookup field for the ID should display 3 columns. So, for the contact ID, dapat manggagaling yung value ng lookup sa student table. So, manggagaling dapat ito sa student table at ang ipapakita ng lookup dapat ay student number, first name, and last name. So, that is multiple list. So, yung first, again, yung contact ID, yung value ng lookup is manggagaling sa student table. Then, it should have 3 columns. The student number, first name, and of course, the last name. While, on the contact type, you're going to choose the second option. Second option, which is you're going to type in the value that you want. So, type in the values. So, ang ita-type lang po sa lookup field for the contact type will be landline and the mobile. Landline and mobile. So, what type of that contact number? Contact type. Then next, close the table and save the changes you made. Reopen the datasheet view. Your lookup field should behave as those in the figure below. So, ito dapat yung expected output ninyo. So, sa contact information, ang magpapakita na lookup will be the student number, the first name, and the last name of the student. And for the contact number na contact type naman is landline and mobile lang po. Okay, landline and mobile. And here will be the rubric for checking if you want to get a perfect score. Please refer on the rubric for checking. Now, on the day number 2, week 8, day number 2, reflection lang po ito. This is just a short review. So, list down the 5 fields that applies the following data type. So, ano nga ba yung mga field name na applicable sa short text? Pwede ba si contact number sa short text? Pwede ba si birth date sa short text? Okay, example lang po. So, example for the short text will be first name. May mga example naman ako dyan. Short text, example, first name. Number, example, street number. Contact number, ganon. Date and time, example is monthsary. Then, the currency, example is the balance. Okay, so, tigpa 5 field names lang naman po yan. So, 5, 10, 15, and 20 pa rin po. So, that's all for the week number 8. Good luck, Lucian.